What's the difference between fireplaces, pellet stoves, gas stoves, and wood stoves? And I believe you sell all of those. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what are like, yeah, what are the differences or with those? This is a sponsored interview with Miami Fireplace and Stoves.
So, I mean, your gas stove, obviously, it runs off of gas.
Mm-hmm.
We have them that run off of natural gas or propane.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most, uh, the ease of operation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kind of hit a button, it has electric or electronic ignition, it lights it for you. And then after so many minutes, after it heats up, it has blowers that automatically kick on to blow the heat out in the room. And then your pellet, you know, you got to buy a 40-pound bag of pellet, and you can just pour them in. And then your pellet stove has a thermostat that you can turn it off and on with, or you can set a temperature that it kicks on and off for you.
Wow.
But it will feed the pellets, and then it lights the pellets, and then once it heats up to 120 degrees, it will start blowing the hot air, but it's a constant like 450-degree heat.
Oh wow.
And but the good thing about the pellet is it gives you that good warm wood heat,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have the creosote and the mess that like a wood stove would have with it. Um, and the wood stove, I mean, I've had wood fireplaces and all that stuff, and I love the feel and the look of a wood fire, but it's kind of messy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and um, stacking the wood on the porch and like bugs and mice and
Mm-hmm.
stuff try to make nests in it, and you bring that stuff in your house, you know, and so um, there's a place for wood stoves,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the pellet stove is a little bit more. Um, I guess it's just more user friendly, you know, to be able to and then with a wood stove, if it gets too hot in there, you you can turn the air down, the air settings
Mm-hmm.
on them and stuff, but you can open a window, but you have to let that wood stay on fire. There's no way to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Where with a pellet stove, you can turn the thermostat down and it just quits
Okay.
feeding pellets,
Huh.
and then your fire will die out. And um, so a lot of people that have pellet stoves will run them even into like the springtime,
Oh wow.
to where in the morning time, you know, whenever it's still just to knock the chill off,
Mm-hmm.
they'll start their pellet stove and just enough to knock the chill off and then turn it off. Where a wood stove, you'd have to start your wood stove,
Mm-hmm.
get it going, and then by the time it gets going, it's hot in there and
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to shut it down. You know, you
Gotcha.
just kind of got to open windows and let the fire die out eventually.
Now we're right by. This is what is this right here?
This is a heat and glow. It's a gas built-in
Okay.
fireplace.
Okay. So this is okay. So and what? Okay. Now what's the difference between a fireplace and a stove?
So a stove is going to be more of a freestanding unit. It could be a gas stove, pellet stove, wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be more of like on legs, like a pedestal,
Okay.
you know, that you can just sit out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is a built-in fireplace because we had to frame it all out, install it, and then install all the venting, and then cover it up, and then rock it all. And so that's kind of the difference in those.
It feels good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nice to be doing the interview
yeah,
right by the heat as well.
yeah,
So,
because it's 20 degrees outside right now. So
yeah. So this is a perfect place to do an interview, especially for someone from Florida,
yeah.
originally. So I'm happy about that. Okay. And what is one thing that you wish people knew about gas, wood, or pellet stoves that you think they might not know?
Um, hmm, I mean, I'd say probably um, there's people that come in here dead set on one thing or another,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't really know there's different options, you know. And so we get people in here that are maybe in their, you know, they grew up with wood stoves their
Mm-hmm.
whole life, and so they are 70 years old and
Oh, okay.
want to have a wood stove,
Mm-hmm.
and I introduce them to a pellet stove.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit easier. You know, you don't have to carry in logs. You don't have to light it. You don't have to kind of babysit it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a wood stove. So um, that's some of the options that I give them for that. It's a lot. less work, on their part.
Mm.
And so, but then if they do have natural gas or propane, then I lead them to natural gas or propane. Um, but if you do have natural gas would be the best way to go
Mm.
because you don't have to cut anything down, you don't have to haul anything. You just have to pay your gas bill,
Mm.
and you got your gas, to your fireplace or your stove. So yeah,
And we were talking a little bit, and you were saying that some people will, and you sell electric fireplaces too, and some people will use solar panels to be able to turn on their electric fireplace.
yeah, we have some people that are um, wanting the fireplace look
Uh-huh.
and get a little bit of the heat from it and stuff, but they don't want to spend money on a fireplace, to the venting and everything that goes with it,
Mm.
and so they'll get an electric fireplace. And we have some that are pretty realistic looking, for electric,
Mm.
and they'll run those off of their solar panels, and it's pretty much like free heat for
Yeah.
their areas, that they're trying to stay warm in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that they're thinking about using solar.
Yeah,
And I'm assuming that you probably have some people that maybe are going off the grid a little bit, especially if they're getting wood stoves and all of that, and coming in here and trying to think about how can they do things like that. Is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. A lot of people with like tiny homes, or and a lot of people with like maybe they're flipping a house and doing
Mm.
like Airbnb. It's
Mm.
got an older fireplace or something in it. Um, you don't really. A lot of people don't want a renter
Yeah.
or somebody like that to be able to start a real fire in their house,
Mm.
and so they will buy an electric insert or electric fireplace and put in place of it,
Mm.
because it looks nice, but the renters or whoever doesn't have to have the liability of something happening to that
Yeah.
house, if they don't know how to operate the fireplace or whatever correctly.